We knew it was coming today on Andrew Wiggins. Well, officially announced. He has opted into his $30.2 million player option for this upcoming season, but signed an extension with the Miami Heat. This may be a misleading number. He is now under contract in Miami for the next 3 seasons. We're going to break it down on today's show, presented by Prize Picks. I am Nick Roloff. Now, this is huge. Originally, we thought that Wiggins opted out of his player option and then signed a 3-year, $64 million extension that would ultimately have him in Miami for $21.3 million per year. Well, that actually is not the case. As we mentioned, he did opt in to that $30 million player option. So he is going to be paid $30 million this year, but the next 2 years are under $20 million at incredible value. So yes, does Miami create a lot of space for free agency right now? No, but they will have way more flexibility to build around Giannis, Bam, and Wiggins over the next 2 off seasons. And this is why you subscribe. We had a video out this morning talking about where things were heading with Wiggins and some free agency rumors. We cover every angle of Miami Heat news. Join the channel as we're looking to get to 30K subscribers. Would be heck of a milestone. All right, so now that we've kind of outlined it a bit, I want to take you some through the details because I was confused. Many of other people were confused on social media when this was announced because it was like, all right, did he opt into the player option? Did he not? Well, here is Anthony kind of breaking it down. So he opted into the $30.2 million player option and then agreed to a separate 2-year, $34 million deal. So yes, it in total is 3 years, $64 million, but it really is an opt-in and then a separate 2-year extension. And you might think to yourself, oh my goodness, he signed an extension that was $34 million over 2 years? Yeah, that's one heck of a bargain. Specifically, Ira Winderman saying that it is going to be $16.5 million in 2027-28 and then $17.5 million in 28-29. It is also being reported that that final season in 28-29 is a player option at $17.5 million. And although, yes, it is a bummer that the Heat ultimately couldn't convince Wiggins or he didn't want to opt out to get more flexibility this offseason, but this value for the next couple of years is absolutely insane. The non-taxpayer mid-level is like $15.5 million. So you have Andrew Wiggins for $1 million more than the non-taxpayer mid-level next year? That's incredible because Wiggins would be like, he is way more valuable to me than the non-taxpayer mid-level. Like, he is closer to $20 million. So I think they got really good value on Wiggins over the next 2 years. And I know some people out there have questioned the fit with him and Bam and Giannis. I don't know why. Because now, Wiggins, Bam, and Giannis is the best defensive trio in the entire NBA. And Wiggins displayed elite shot making last year as well. He shot 41% from 3. He had some big time moments in the clutch. So to me, like, I think this is great. And I theorized that, hey, if he just opted into the deal for $30 million, he could actually be traded to create more flexibility for free agency now and in the future. But obviously, with the extension coming in the next 2 years worth $34 million, yeah, that price tag for Wiggins is a bit high now, but he's in Miami at least the next 2 years, and he will not be traded. Pin comment on today's show. What is your one-word reaction to the Andrew Wiggins extension? I'm going to give you mine here in just 1 second, but go answer it for me down in the comments section. Mine is future. And some people might say, Nick, what do you mean future? Well, yes, I wanted some space now, but that isn't going to happen if he was going to opt in regardless. So if he's opting in, you had 2 options. You either had, all right, we're going to try to trade you, Andrew, if you opt in, or you can work on extension. Say you opt in now, you get your money now, sign a team-friendly contract with us here for the future. And that's what Miami is. This isn't a 1-year window, guys. They're going to sign Giannis Antetokounmpo to an extension in January when he becomes eligible to. They're going to have a window of the next 3 to 4 years, hopefully, for Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam. And this just gives you more flexibility in free agency the next 2 years, not just this year. We're going to talk about the dominoes to fall as well on Nikola Jovic. But today's show is presented by Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code HMA and get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. You can play in so many different ways. Daily fantasy. You could do team picks, which allow you to make predictions on game outcomes, spread, winners, totals. You can actually combine team picks with the daily fantasy lineups, which is what I did today. And literally, as we're filming this video, Japan just scored to go up 1-0 on Brazil. So not ideal there. I had them to win outright in regulation, paired up with Vinny Jr. 3 shots, Kai Havertz half a goal, and Virgil van Dijk more on passes attempted. You can actually pick spreads, winners, totals. You could do it all over on Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code HMA. Get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. All right, as we get back to talking about Miami Heat basketball here, the next domino to fall to me is Nikola Jovic. Why? He's making $16.4 million this year. And if they're agreeing to an extension with Wiggins now, they know they need to create more money. Right now, they don't have a lot to use in free agency. But if they were able to trade Nikola Jovic for lesser salary or find a way to offload him and attach like a 1 second-round pick for a team to take his contract in, you'd be able to have way more flexibility in free agency. Like right now, Barry Jackson said that the Heat have around $12 million to use of that $15 million non-taxpayer. So they don't have all 15, but they have 12 of it, which they could use on a one player for 12 per year. Divide that up with a $7 and a $5 or $7 million and a $5 million guy, and then use minimum deals. Miami has 10 players on their roster right now. Davion, Larson, Wiggins, Bam, Giannis, Portis, Drew Smith. They got Conwell, Myron Gardner, and they've got 10 guys. So they got to fill out the roster with 4 or 5 guys. You can use the $12 million non-taxpayer on one, spread it out through 2, and then sign 2 or 3 minimum guys, and boom, there you go. You got your 14, 15-person roster. We talked about it on the show earlier this morning. If you did not watch that, here are some targets Miami have been linked to in the last 48 hours. Tim Hardaway Jr. and Mike Conley, Anthony Simons, Landry Shamet, and Quentin Grimes. And I like all of these guys. Tim Hardaway is a guy that catches my eye. Obviously, his father has his jerseys hung up in the rafters, and he had an incredible season for Denver this past year. Was third in 6 Man of the Year votes. Averaged 13 points a game. Shot 40% from 3, 49% on wide open attempts, and 41% on catch and shoot attempts. He was also pretty crucial and pivotal for the Pistons in their playoff run the year prior. So if you could get Tim Hardaway Jr. as a bench shooter on the vet min, that would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, I don't know what he's looking for. He might probably pine for closer to $10 million because he did finish third in 6 Man of the Year voting, but I don't know if that market's going to be there for Tim. So if you get him for the vet min, that's an absolute steal. Obviously, the name that I will continue to bring up is Anthony Simons. He was mentioned by Barry Jackson alongside Landry Shamet, alongside Quentin Grimes. Simons just gives you that pop, man. He does. Is the defense fully there? No. I'm not going to try to act like it is. But Simons can score off the catch, in isolation, off the dribble. Like, he can do it all. And yes, Shamet and Grimes, I'd be more than happy with that. But the offensive ceiling of Simons, and you could hide him defensively with Davion, Wiggins, Bam, and Giannis, that's phenomenal stuff, man. Miami's going to have to be crafty. They will. Could they get Simons on $12 million per year? I think they could. That's something I'm not ruling out. A 3 for 36 or a 4 for 48, like that is a deal that I could see ultimately happening. But how do they fill out the rest of this roster? They need to be crafty, folks. Final word on today's show. Is it disappointing Miami wasn't able to create any cap space this year with this Andrew Wiggins extension? Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. I wonder why. If he's getting 64 over the next 3 years, I wonder why he wouldn't have opted out and signed that same exact deal, but for 60 or 21 per year. Obviously, you don't get as much of it up front, but you'd get the same amount of money spaced out. I guess they couldn't convince him on that. It's all right, I guess. But Wiggins signing a team-friendly extension in the next 2 years, that helps you build out the roster not only this year, but in 2027 and in 2028. And I'm excited about that. That's going to do it for today's show. We'll have a video out tomorrow morning on the latest rumors on the Heat before NBA free agency. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll be live for NBA free agency as well on Tuesday and Wednesday. So subscribe, turn your notifications on, and lock us in.